Okay, I'm going to start at the end of this chapter. It's Fairy Tail chapter 530. I think it was, yeah, called Neo Eclipse. Alright, now, I just want to start with Zeref's character. Because this entire arc, this guy's been one confused ass motherfucker. Alright? So let's start off with what he wanted to do at the beginning of this chapter. So this is actually at the beginning of this arc, sorry. So this was a comment made by Misa, M-I-S-A, on Fairy Tail, on Manga Stream, the Fairy Tail Discus comments at the end. And it rang so true with every point this guy made. Or she, I'm not sure who it was, but it was a person called Misa. Go check out the original comment. But Zeref, this entire arc has been like, first, I'm going to invade your country and steal my bitch back, okay? I'm going to steal back Mavis. I'm going to bring her back with me for whatever reason. We didn't know why at that time, but he wanted to. And even before then, when we first saw him on Tenrojima, he was always like, his most weird factor, the kind of attribute he had, was he wanted Natsu to kill him for some reason. So even then he was like, yeah, Natsu, kill me again, when we saw him in this arc. And then he was like, when Natsu failed with Ignil's power and that dragon tattoo on his arm thing, and Happy pulled him away because if he killed Zeref, he would die himself. He was like, oh, okay, Natsu didn't kill me, so I'll go back to killing innocent people. This is a point that Misa guy made. So then he was like, he carried on and he was like, I'm trying to save humanity. And we're like, what? How the hell are you trying to save humanity? And then Gray didn't kill him. And he said to Gray not to kill him. Natsu's supposed to kill me. And then he found Natsu in his END. Well, Natsu went END and he was like, oh yeah, fight me again. Natsu fought him again and they're still fighting. And now he's trying to tell Natsu that he wants to save humanity by killing Acnologia. And then now he's like, I'm trying to go back in time to remove my curse and have you be human again. And then we can kill Acnologia once we go back in time again. So he's just so confused. I don't understand what this guy is on about. So let's go back to as you can probably tell, starting on that note, I didn't like this chapter so much. There are a lot of plot holes, a lot of assumptions, and they're expecting a lot of things to go right. I mean, like, this is the equivalent of having the plan in One Piece, the whole Red Wedding thing in Whole Cake Island, having that go exactly like how Capone plans it, even with freaking Dogtooth, their Katakuri. This is the equivalent of that going like straight. A smooth plan, that being a smooth plan, a pure 5-second plan. So you'll see what I mean. So we start off with a flashback. We're in the capital Crocus city, year X77, when the Dragon Slayers and freaking Anna first came to the future, which is the current timeline. And we see some shooting stars flying upwards into the sky, which only the night dude finds weird, which I was like, what? Shooting stars never go upwards. What is wrong with you guys? So we also later find out that those shooting stars were the Dragon Slayers flying through the castle from the basement. And how did no one hear that shit? They just pummeled and kind of shot their way, they cannonballed their way through sheer rock, like 20 feet probably of pure rock out of the basement of the castle. And no one heard that shit, they just saw that shit. So I was like, man. But that's not really a big plot point, you know. All we need to know is that the Dragon Slayers got separated. So then we see Layla and the King. They're stood at the exit of Eclipse, which is where Anna's now coming out of. And Anna's like, yeah, oh my god, shit, it worked. Which year am I in? They're like, oh, you're in year X77. She's like, okay, cool. And then she looks bad. She looks back and she's like, oh shit, where'd the kids gone? Bad parenting 101 there. So she realizes the kids have gone missing. And she asks Layla, she's like, what the hell, where the kids gone? They were just like, oh, we don't know, but 5 like cannonballs just flew their way out of here. So I thought the way last chapter ended, we were going to get an explanation of how this accident occurred, how the kids went missing, why they went missing. But all we really got was how they went missing, in terms of they flew out the castle. We didn't get why, like, was it to expel some magic? I don't know. They didn't give us a reason why. They just freaking went missing for plot. I don't even know why they went missing. So apparently Layla's entire line of predecessors, so the whole Heartfilia family were exceptionally retarded. Because okay, listen to this. Okay, so apparently they were all retarded because they didn't open the Eclipse Gate with the easiest set of instructions ever. Do you know what the instructions were? The instructions were something along the lines of, if you're in possession of the 12 celestial keys, those the 12 ones which correlate to each freaking what's it called? Capricorn and Sagittarius and all those. Each constellation, is it? No, it's not each constellation. You know what I mean. Then, as long as you use those keys at the time of a solar eclipse. Now, I've only been alive for like 21 years, and I've had 2, 3, 4, maybe, I think 3 to 4 solar eclipses in my lifetime. So at the age of 21, and I assume however long her family lived, there must have been several solar eclipses during their time. So you have to possess these 12 keys, you have to have a solar eclipse, and you have to have abundant magic power in that time, as in just natural magic flowing around. So if there's abundant magic power, assuming it doesn't grow exponentially, that like the magic power in that world doesn't grow exponentially, then Layla isn't the only person that would have had that magic power around. Her mother should have had it, her mother's mother should have had it, so her grandmother, her great grandmother, I don't know, maybe there was like this huge jump in freaking power, I don't know, but it just seems like the rest of her family probably could have done this, and maybe she didn't need to do it. Why did it all have to rest on Layla just because she's Lucy's mom and she needed some plot? I don't know. But to be fair, she says that one of the reasons she did it was so that Lucy wouldn't have to do it, so that she could remove this burden from her. But if you ask me, it wasn't so much of a burden in the first place. All you have to do is have 12 keys, go to the eclipse gate at the time of the solar eclipse, and open the gate. That's not much of a burden. I mean, like, what did she didn't save Lucy from freaking dying. So then Anna goes, I need to go search for the kids. I don't give a shit about your story. And Layla asks about the king. She asks for the king to destroy the gate of Eclipse, which for some reason, for plot once again, I don't know why, he doesn't destroy the gate. Maybe one of you guys knows or remembers, there was probably a mention of it. Why didn't he destroy the gate? That seems like a major thing for him. She said destroy the gate. We don't need it anymore, and it's only going to cause an issue if someone opens it and some other shit comes in. Destroy the gate. So he didn't do that for whatever reason. And then Anna continues in the current timeline, explaining to Wendy, Urza, and Gerard and all these guys. She's like, I felt this strange magic when I got through the gate, and she felt like it was this magic of nothingness, and it has no place in this time. And she then tries to complicate the whole explanation with shit like, it's like this rift in space. Oh my god! I don't even remember what she said, because I just wrote down my simplification of it, which is there's a hole. This is the simplification of it, by the way. There's a hole, tear, rift, whatever you want to call it, in space-time, because of her and the Dragon Slayers having come through the Eclipse Gate. This rift is where she wants to lead Acnologia. This is her plan. Okay, she wants to lead Acnologia to this rift in space-time, which they created. The hole in space-time, this tear, is as big as an orange. Is about as big as an orange. If you touch it, you ain't getting out. You're dead. Okay? So let me just reiterate more thoroughly what their plan is. Their plan is to outpace Acnologia, the current kind of sovereign of all dragons, even though there aren't really any dragons in existence anymore. And she wants to outpace this dragon, the only dragon remaining, the strongest dragon alive, killed Igneel, and she wants to outpace him to the ravines of time. Then in their freaking big ass ship, Christina or whatever it's called, they want to fly towards this orange shaped hole, this rift in space time. They want to dink over it and carry on flying, as if Acnologia wouldn't freaking notice this freaking jump they make. And there's another issue with actually flying over this orange shaped hole, because this orange shaped hole can't be seen. Let's assume that because Anna found it, she can see it. But she'll be in a ship, flying at a speed which is faster than Acnologia at this moment in time for some reason, and she'll be approaching something the size of an orange. She has got to have the sharpest eyesight and the best ocular reflexes going to adjust to the speed of her ship and seeing this orange shaped hole at a distance. Alright, because you touch this thing, you're dead, you're screwed. So that's their plan. And then what they want is, when they dink over it with Christina, they want Acnologia to fly into it and perish. That's their plan. So this is an awesome plan. Okay, this is what their entire life hinges on. Because if they don't do this, Acnologia will screw them. So we then go to Lucy, who's finishing up her crying. She tells Grey not to end the book of END. See what I did there? And so she says, don't pursue your destruction of END. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. I didn't know the book was related to Natsu. I didn't know if I ended the book, it would end him. So then Happy's like, maybe we should open the book. And says something ominous about understanding the first words. The first words were something like, when that time comes, the only thing that can save Natsu is the power of his friends, fairy tale, and you all. So Happy said he's beginning to understand the words. Now these words mean jack and shit to me. When the time comes, the only thing that can save Natsu is the power of its friends. So what, they're going to open the book and cry or something into it? The tears will flood him with all their memories of good times. He'll use that and get some like super power up and punch a hole through Zeref. I don't know. But Nakama power or friendship power has already played a huge part in Fairy Tail. That's all it is at this moment in time. So it might be something like that. Brace yourselves. So they steal their wills and then they decide to open it. They're like, yeah, we're going to open this. So then we go to Zeref and Natsu fighting. Zeref unleashes this black flamey looking pillar thing towards Natsu, which hits him, and then Natsu's veins start dilating and rising to his face like he's in the desert. He's dying. It looks painful, but I don't know why Zeref didn't use this before. You know, I mean, he's had all this time, and Zeref's going crazy. Like I said before, his character's just completely wavering, as if someone else made a comment on Fairy Tail's manga stream comments. It feels like a different mangaka is writing Zeref's character every week. He's just fluctuating. He's like, oh yes, END, you're kind of crap. I expected more. And then he's like, oh, you kill me. And then he's like, oh, he's just so bad. I really don't like Zeref's character at this moment in time because he's just so contradictory. I mean, you could say that's kind of what he is, but he first introduced himself as a calm, weird character who just started crying and things like that. But he had this amazing ability to anything around him would just die. So then Zeref's like, yeah, Mavis's power is one of the keys I need to go through this Neo Eclipse thing, which I want to go through. And the other key is the Ravines of Time. Okay, so he says he's going to reset time to before he was cursed. So before he was cursed and before Natsu died, so Natsu will be human again, and then they can kill Acnologia. So this is his huge plan. He wants to go back through Neo Eclipse using Mavis's power and using the Ravines of Time. Okay? And using these two keys, he'll go back in time to, well, he won't just travel through time, he'll reset time to before he was cursed, before Natsu died, and they'll kill Acnologia. Right. What? I don't understand. This to me shows that Hiro Mashima he just decided to write this up. He decides to write this up on a weekly basis. Like, he just doesn't know what he's writing. He's got no plan. And this chapter was just so bad. I mean, I don't understand why Zeref never stated that he had this plan to go back and reset everything. Is he saving humanity? Is he doing it for himself? Does he want to just kill Acnologia because that seems to be his thing? Or does he want to save Natsu because he's not really doing that at the moment, but then he's saying that if he resets time, Natsu will be fine, and Natsu's all like, oh yeah, but my friends will die. No one gives a shit really. But yeah, this chapter was quite bad. What did you guys think about it? Did you like Zeref's friggin' jumping from character to character? I don't really get that. Did you like the fact that Mavis is one of the keys to this Neo Eclipse gate, and that the Ravines of Time is one of this Neo Eclipse gate? Because actually there's another plot hole here. If the Ravines of Time are a key to the Neo Eclipse gate, does that mean if Layla had never gotten through that gate, that he would never have had the opportunity to open this Neo Eclipse gate? So basically he was just waiting for someone to come through that gate. I swear it was a gate he built. Why didn't he just go through it? But actually he needed someone to open it. So was he just waiting for someone to open that gate so that the Ravines of Time could be formed, so that basically a rip or a tear in space-time could be formed, just so that he could use that to go back in time again, reset time, and then kill Acnologia? I don't know, maybe you guys know something more than I do. You probably do. Let me know where I'm confused. Let me know what's going on, because I'm just so confused about the story. I give this chapter like a 4 3 out of 10. I just didn't like the backstory that we saw in the beginning. I didn't like the whole END Happy thing, because Happy, I don't like the fact that Happy's still alive, but that's a story for another time. And then this whole Zeref Natsu thing, and Zeref as a character in general, I didn't like it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think or thought. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in a bit.